Hey everyone, Nuzlite here, and today we're back with another video. The DIO versus Alucard video I made about a month ago now. Uh, yeah, my opinions have changed on that matchup since then. And there were a lot of things that I did wrong in the video. For example, I did not point out the fact I was using Alucard before having eaten Schrodinger's cat, and this is important because this is before he becomes omnipresent. I was also unaware to certain things as well, such as I didn't bring into the account how fast shadows move and Alucard can manipulate shadows, and just how generally powerful he is compared to the monster of God. And well, there is only one other matchup where I believe I got the outcome wrong, completely. That one I just got some calculations messed up, and it's not that major. Just besides, obviously the outcome. But with this, I kind of messed up quite a bit. So I wanted to redo the video, but with a better matchup because Dio gets absolutely stomped. I won't lie to you. So we're going to be using Heaven Ascension Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure: Eyes of Heaven, and yeah, let's just get right into this video. Alucard for strength was able to fight, keep up with, and eventually beat the Monster of God, which should have boundless strength. I know it's like at first I thought it was a little bit of a stretch to do so, but after looking over things, then I know now that it definitely does. And yeah, this literally makes his attack potency infinite, or some level of infinity. Heaven Ascension Dio, meanwhile, is stronger than his canon self physically with the world. Like, he could knock back 3 of the Joel stars pretty easily, which means that his overall strength is around City Block level. However, what makes him truly terrifying is his overwrite ability and the ability to erase people from existence pretty easily. This power extends Pucci's Made in Heaven, which was able to reset the universe, and also is more powerful than Giorno Giovanna's Gold Experience Requiem. This is huge because Gold Experience Requiem, right? We're going to tell you how powerful he is just really briefly, right? So Giorno was fighting Diavolo, and if you don't know if you don't know JoJo, Diavolo can see 5 seconds into the future and skip 5 seconds into the future. So time skips for everyone barring himself. So he has powers to manipulate time, right? Gold Experience Requiem. His ability is to reset anything back to what it was if it's harming Giorno. So, So essentially, if you were to go punch him, right, you would go punch him, and then you would be back to where you were before having done that. So your attack just doesn't happen, and this extends time and space, as shown with Diavolo when he was skipping time. And his reality overwrite is more powerful than Giorno's, which easily makes it high 4th dimensional, and possibly even 5th dimensional if you really want to go there. So in terms of physical strength, Alucard is way more stronger than Dio. However, that being said, Dio in terms of reality overwrite is also infinite because the universe is infinite. So Dio is beyond infinite, and Alucard is some level of infinite. So I would say it's a draw in that respect. However, it is really quite subjective to say who is more powerful. For speed now, and this is pretty simple, Alucard after eating Schrodinger's cat, because now we're using that version of Alucard, is omnipresent, and that means that he's beyond all time. Like, even if you are infinite in terms of speed, you're still slower than someone who's omnipresent. Heaven Ascension Dio can stop time for as long as he wants. He can stop time infinitely, and only that is faster than Made in Heaven, who has been stated to have infinite speed. However, as we already said, you can't be faster than an omnipresent being without being omnipresent yourself, so this point goes to Alucard. Durability now, and it's hard getting a solid durability feat for Alucard minus his regeneration. Like, he would take hits from people, and he's mostly just regenerate from them. So without his regeneration, his durability is, It's kind of unknown, although granted, regeneration is part of durability, so I'm not really sure what I'm talking about here. If you get what I mean, you get what I mean. But regardless, he was able to take hits from the Monster of God. Granted, those hits, you know, he was... I am still not too sure how he didn't die, but here we are. His regeneration is that powerful as well, so his durability is boundless too. Dio meanwhile was able to take hits from Star Platinum over Heaven, and Star Platinum over Heaven was able to overwrite just as much reality as the world over Heaven, if not even more. So, well, it is sort of the same with the attack potency. You know, their attack potency is the same as their durability. If I was, you know, if someone were to put a gun to my head and tell me, you know, or get me to tell them who I think is more powerful, I would probably have to say Alucard. But when you look at it on paper, they're both practically boundless for two different reasons. Although something to take into account, it is possible that Dio's overwrite has a limit, as you know, Jotaro was able to overwrite it as well. However, he had the same power at the time, so it's kind of up in the air whether he can or whether he has a limit or not. So yeah, let's just move on to the abilities section. Alucard has a plethora of different abilities and weaponry, such as his guns, castle, and other one that I never remember the name of. You know, those guns are pretty much as powerful as himself, as shown when they're doing as much damage as he could. He has manipulation over shadows as well, can teleport, can read minds, has some level of mind manipulation himself too, has telekinesis, also has regeneration as well. He's regenerated from a pool of blood before. Not only that, but the things that he's supposed to be weak to, he has survived. He was supposed to, like, Schrodinger was supposed to be able to erase Alucard from existence, but failed. So that does imply that he's resistant to that, but comparing Schrodinger to Dio, Dio's overwrite is much more powerful. So it is kind of subjective, or we'll get to that in the conclusion, whether he would be able to do that to Alucard or not. He's unaffected by illusions. His enhanced senses can summon undead beings to come fight with him. He also predicts what his opponents are going to do next, and can also steal vampiric powers. Heaven Ascension Dio, meanwhile, of course, his time stop is infinite, unlike the canon timeline, where it's only for a few seconds. He has infinite knives, and his regeneration doesn't have a weak spot this time. So it's kind of, like, I'm presuming it's going to be the same kind of regeneration as it was in part 1, where he can regenerate anything so long as there's something left of it. For example, he couldn't regenerate his whole body after getting his head chopped off. However, he could regenerate his arm after it being severed off, so, you know, it's kind of like that. He also has the ability to mind control people via mist, and also teleport himself and others too. He has telekinesis as well, and his power can manipulate fate, as Giorno's could, and his was more powerful than Giorno. He has air manipulation, as he was able to create a tornado that could blind people for 11 seconds too if it hits them. He can travel through time as well, and has also created his own pocket dimension too, which has multiple stars in it, which is a multi-solar system level feat. He can also cast lightning bolts too. So Heaven Ascension Dio is much more versatile than he is in canon story, and puts his versatility on par with Alucard, but I'd still say Alucard is more versatile. In terms of who's more powerful in terms of abilities, I'd probably say Dio, because his power is heavily ability based, and his, you know, and the reason why the durability and attack potency section were a draw was because of his abilities, which granted are subconscious, and he doesn't need to activate them. They're always active, but you know, that is why I'd probably give Dio the abilities point. For weaknesses, Alucard is supposed to be weak to silver and other such things that vampires are supposed to be weak to, but isn't, because, you know, whenever he gets hit by them or just completely impaled by them, he is completely fine. He also believes that a human should be the one to kill him. However, Dio isn't human, so that's completely irrelevant. Dio, meanwhile, is cocky, and that's really it. The only way you can really beat Dio, at least within JoJo, is to match him within reality warping. So for who has the more vulnerable weakness, it is Dio because of his cockiness. However, that's literally the only thing that's, you know, remotely worse than just anything in general. Like, when that is the only weakness that either of them have, you know that they're very powerful. Now, who wins the fight? Right, we know that Alucard's stronger, faster, arguably more durable, and more versatile and has a less vulnerable weakness. Dio, meanwhile, has got much more hacks and has the better abilities. So, who wins the fight? This is more tough than what I originally made it out to be in the original video, because Alucard can definitely kill Dio here, and if he were to steal his powers, then that would just be the end of it all. And for that reason, I believe that Alucard would win, because if he were to steal any of Dio's powers there, like reality warping or whatever, then it's over. That being said, Dio could erase Alucard from existence, and this is something I'm not sure on if you could or couldn't, because Schrodinger, as I already said, Schrodinger was supposed to do that, but failed, and Dio is much more powerful than Schrodinger, so it's kind of up in the air for that. I don't really have a set answer for that. If you want to debate that in the comments section, then feel free. But yeah, my money would still be on Alucard winning, but you know, feel free to put your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, dislike and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.